Hi, everybody. All right, so welcome to part 2 of the Chapter 4 practice test. Same drill as Chapter 3, as well as the first part of Chapter 4 that you should have just watched. Have your composition notebook out and ready. You should have 2 utensils out, a pencil, and then another color to correct your work as I go through and do it after you try it. You are going to answer the question on your own, pick an answer. After that, you are going to correct your work as I go through it. Watch how I do it. You can pause if you need to. And then you are going to move on. Remember that at the end, you will be submitting your work onto Google Classroom. So make sure you have complete, thorough work. All right, let's get started. So graph the solution of the inequality. Number 11, make sure to solve it first and then graph it. All right, ready, set, go. Okay, so you should have solved and graphed this. So I'm going to do it a shortcut way that I taught you in 4.4. And since this 3 is just hanging outside of this parentheses, I can actually divide the whole thing by 3 to start. Okay, so I'm going to divide the whole thing by 3 to start. And I'm going to be left with just what's inside of the parentheses, which is g minus 2, inequality symbol. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. Then I'm going to add 2 to isolate my g, and I'm going to be left with g is greater than or equal to negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. All right. Again, with this one, you could have distributed. Okay, that was another option. You could have distributed. That is A-okay. If you did that and you got 3g minus, oops, that's not a 3. If you got 3g minus 6, and then you just solved it like a two-step equation, that is totally fine. You should get the same answer either way. I just did that way to show you a new one that we were practicing in 4.4. Okay, so now for the graph. 0, negative 2, negative 4, 2, 4. Graph our point at negative 2. Is it an open or filled in circle? It is filled in because there's that line underneath, which means that negative 2 is in fact a solution to this. Now we need to decide where to shade. So let's say if g equals negative 4, plug in negative 4, negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 4. Is negative 2 less than or equal to negative 4? No, because negative 4 is to the left, so that's false. Let's try a number to the right. If g equals 2, is negative 2 less than or equal to 2? Yes, because a positive 2 is bigger than negative 2. So we want to shade to the right. All right, so we are going to shade to the right, and that is going to be our graph for number 11. Okay, let's scroll down to 12. Which inequality or inequalities have the same solution as 10 is less than or equal to x plus 4? I suggest, hint, that you solve for each of these and then see which ones are the same. All right, ready, set, go. Oh, and wait. This is going to be A, this is going to be B, this is going to be C, this is going to be D. Okay? Okay, so first let's just solve this to know what the inequality equals. So I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides to isolate my x. This is going to cancel. I'm going to be left with x is greater than or equal to 10 minus 4, which is 6. Okay, so I know this equals x is greater than or equal to 6, okay? So now let's see what we got here. Well, if I solved for x here, 0, x plus 14, I would need to subtract 14 on both sides. So this would be x is greater than or equal to negative 14. Is that the same as this? No. So A's out. Okay, let's see. Well, this looks exactly like this. So this is definitely a solution. X is greater than 14. Nope, that's out. And then let's solve for this one. 0 is greater than or equal to x minus 6. Add 6, add 6. We're left with x is greater than or equal to 6. Is this the same as this? Yes. So your answer should be B and D. B and D have the same solution as this inequality that you're given. Okay, let's scroll down to 13. The solution of A plus B is greater than negative 4 is A is greater than negative 9. I need you to find the value of B. Use your problem solving skills. Okay, so in order to solve for this, what we're going to do is I'm going to solve for A, essentially, okay? So I'm going to subtract the B in order to solve for A, okay? So then I'm going to be left with A is greater than -4 minus B, okay? -4 minus B. So now I see here that A has to be greater than -9. So what I want to do is I want to decide this whole thing needs to equal -9. All right. So -4 minus B has to equal -9. So what does B have to be? We could solve for B, or we could just realize that -4 minus 5, if B equals 5, would equal -9. Or you could use your algebra, because we know algebra. And I'm going to add this B over here, okay, just to make it a positive B. So I'm going to be left with -4 equals -9 plus B. Then I'm going to add 9. And that is going to give me B equals a positive 5. So either way works. You can do it either way. You can just know -4 minus 5 equals -9, or you can solve using your algebra steps. Either way works. But the value of B is positive 5. Okay, let's go to 14. A student solves the inequality -6v is greater than 42. Each step in the student's solution is shown below. Identify where the student made any errors. This is going to be A, this is going to be B, C, and D. Pick your answer. Okay, so if I'm looking at the steps, -6v is greater than 42. That step is fine. Step 1's fine. Okay, so then I see they divide by -6, right? They divide by -6. So, okay, that's fine. But when you divide by a negative, what do you have to do? You need to flip the inequality symbol. All right. And if you look here, she didn't flip it. She didn't flip it. So the error is in step 2 and 3 because she forgot to flip the inequality symbol, okay? It should be flipped here and here. All right. Okay. So let's go down to 15. The area of a rectangle is greater than or equal to 90 square centimeters. The width of the rectangle is 9 centimeters and the length is x centimeters. Select the possible values of x. So this is going to be A, B, C, D. It could be more than one of these. So choose your answer. Okay, so area of a rectangle. Remember, area of a rectangle is length times width, okay? So it says the area of the rectangle has to be greater than or equal to 90. So the area of the rectangle has to be greater than or equal to 90, okay? So the width of the rectangle is 9. So I know that this is going to equal 9. And we don't know the length. The length we're going to represent with x, okay? So how we're going to do this is, well, first, the area is going to equal x times 9 because remember, it's length times width. So that's just going to be 9x, okay? So area is going to be represented with 9x. And then remember that our area needs to be greater than or equal to 90. Well, this is equal to our area, so we're going to sub that in for the A. 9x is greater than or equal to 90. Then we're going to solve our inequality. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. We're going to be left with x is greater than or equal to 10. Now, this is where you want to be careful because x has to be greater than or equal to 10. But remember, it's not just one solution. So which ones could work? Well, of course, 10 could work because 10 is greater than or equal to 10. That works. But what's another number that's greater than 10? 11. 11 is greater than or equal to 10. So that works as well because remember with inequalities, it's a solution set, not just one solution. So your answers are actually C and D for this one. Okay, so number 16, a bus ride for a student costs $2. A monthly bus pass costs $44. Which inequality represents the number of times that a student must ride the bus for the monthly pass to be a better deal? So what we are going to want to do is, so it's $2 to ride the bus. We don't know how many times we rode the bus. So this is the number of times you ride the bus. A monthly pass is $44, okay? So let's think about this logically. There was a homework question that was exactly like this. So we're going to think back to that. So we want the monthly pass to be a better deal. Okay. So think about this. If you rode the bus one time all month, would it make sense for you to buy a $44 pass if you were only going to spend $2 on the bus? No, right? So we don't want this 2x right here to be less than 44. Because in order for the 44 to be a better deal, we need it to be greater than. All right. So this right here is our inequality. 2x is greater than 44 because let's say we ride the bus 100 times. Well, that would mean it would cost $200 if we didn't buy the monthly pass. So if it is more than $44 that we're spending, that's a way better deal, right? So that is our inequality. 2x is greater than 44. All right. Oops, and I forgot to label it A, B, C, D. Okay, let's scroll down to 17. You have $11.50 to buy boxes of crackers for a party. A box of crackers costs $2.30. Which inequality represents the number X of boxes of crackers you can buy? This is going to be A, B, C, and D. All right, go ahead and solve it. Okay, so we have $11.50 to buy crackers. A box of crackers costs $2.30. And we don't know how many boxes of crackers we buy. So the X is going to be on the $2.30 since it costs $2.30 for a box of crackers, and this is the amount of box of crackers we bought, okay? So we have $11.50 to buy boxes of crackers for the party. So to set this up, that means $11.50 is the most we have, okay? So we either need to be at $11.50 or less than $11.50 in order to have enough money to buy for these, okay? So we have our inequality. Now we're going to solve for it. So we are going to divide by 230 to isolate our x. Divide by 230. And that's going to give us x is less than or equal to 1150. 1150 divided by 230 is going to give me 5, actually. So, oops, and it's not dollars. It's 5 boxes of crackers. So x has to be less than or greater than 5. So this is a little bit turned around, but remember, we can just flip it. So x is as long as so notice the alligator side is pointed towards x. So again, we just make sure that's pointed towards the right direction, and we can make the x on the left side. So x is less than or equal to 5. All right. So your answer is B for this one. Okay, let's go down to 18. 18, we are actually going to skip. So we are not going to do 18 on the test. We are going to skip it. All right. So number 19, an elephant needs to drink at least 40 gallons of water each day. A drinking tank contains 4 gallons of water. The elephant has already consumed 24 gallons of water. How many more tanks X of water does the elephant need to drink? Write your answer as an inequality. So I want you to form an inequality. Think carefully about it. And go ahead and do that. Okay, so to write this, let's think. Elephant needs to drink at least 40 gallons of water. At least 40 gallons, okay? So 40 is going to be on one side of the inequality for sure. And if he has to drink at least 40 gallons of water, that means the inequality that represents at least is this one, because that means that everything on this side has to be greater than 40. So he has to drink more than 40 gallons of water. Okay, a drinking tank contains 4 gallons of water. The elephant has already consumed 24 gallons of water. How many more tanks X does the elephant need to drink? This is going to be a 2-part equation because 4 gallons of water per tank. So it's going to be 4x. That is how many gallons of water and how many tanks he drinks. The elephant has already drank 24 gallons. So we need to add that to this to make it consistent with what the information is that they gave us. And now we just solve. We have our two-part equation and we just solve. So we're going to subtract 24. That's going to cancel out. We're going to be left with 4x is greater than or equal to 16. Then divide by 4 to isolate the x, and we're left with x is greater than or equal to 4. So that means that the elephant needs to drink at least 4 more tanks or more in order to get his water in for the day. Okay, number 20. Tickets sold at a school dance cost $5. 90 tickets have already been sold. How many more tickets must be sold to earn at least $700? Again, this is going to be a two-part inequality, so go ahead and write it and solve it. Okay, so tickets to a school dance cost $5. Do we know how many tickets we've sold yet? No, so we're going to represent it by 5x. This is the money that you make for however many x tickets. Okay? We have to earn at least 700. Remember, this is our inequality for at least, okay? 90 tickets have already been sold, which means we're not just going to write 90 here. Why? Well, because this is all in dollars, okay? This is all represented in dollars. 90 tickets doesn't represent the money you've earned, because how much does a school dance ticket cost? $5. So what we need to do to find the money earned already is we need to do 90 times 5, because that's the amount each ticket costs. So 90 times 5 is going to give us $450. Now we add $450 to this because this is in terms of money. So we need to make at least $700, okay? We've already made $450, and then now we're going to solve for x to see how many more tickets we have to sell in order to make our quota. So let's solve this two-step equation. We are going to subtract $450 from both sides. These are going to cancel. We're going to be left with 5x is greater than or equal to $250. Then we're going to divide by 5 to isolate our x, and we're going to be left with x is greater than or equal to 50, which means that they need to sell at least 50 more tickets or more in order to meet the quota for the dance. So that should be the answer to your inequality. All right, that is part 2. So make sure that you have all of your notes down. You're going to take a picture of it now and submit it onto the Google Classroom to get credit. Remember, the test is going to look exactly like this. So use this video while you're taking the test. Use your notes while you're taking the test. But this is a resource that should be helping you on the chapter test. If you have any questions, email me. And thanks for watching.